Welcome to Tseba Bibele Ministries podcast. My name is Naledi Museme, and this is where we prepare you for the second coming of Christ by preaching the everlasting gospel. Hake mong, ke tsamaya with my co-pilot. Can you introduce yourself, Mel?
Hey guys, my name is Pearl Nketa and I'm your ghost lady today.
Yes, so she will be with us. So, haribang today, guys. Listen. Let me introduce to you our guest for today. So we're talking green, we're talking nala. So our guest is a mom, she's a wife, she's a plant-based influencer, an all-rounder, wonderful woman of God. Her name is Menala Khachane. Menala, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me, Naledi.
Welcome, Menala. I'm so sorry for interjecting, but can I also add on to the introduction? On a personal level, Menala is one of the best mentors that I know. The biggest supporter that I know. I don't think there's anything I've ever sold that she didn't buy.
Right.
So please add that on her resume.
Please.
Mentor.
Yes.
Thank you.
Mentor. Yes. Influencer. Menala, it's such an honor to be with you today.
All right.
And to our viewers, last week we were talking about mental health, Agir. So today we're going to be engaging Menala in the impact of diet on our mental health. But before we get deeper into the subject, Menala, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, your bio, before we continue?
All right.
Yes.
As Naledi has already mentioned, my name is Nala Khachane. I am also Yanda Ndozake. I grew up in the dusty areas of the Eastern Cape, and I'm very proud. I am married now to Basotho, which makes me a Mosotho.
Yes.
I might not be good with accent, but I got the language. I'm a mother of 3 and a wife to one loving husband for that matter, who's very caring.
Yes, clock it.
So I'm a chef. I'm an accountant by profession. I do a lot of things. Homeopathy is also part of the things I do. I'm a mental health advocate as well. I'm a mental health advocate not because I'm a professional in the industry, but because I've walked the journey. I have been diagnosed and I've conquered the mental illness. And I am proud to be saying today that I am willing to help other people who are in the journey or who will be in the journey, or people who are living with people who are in the journey, because this thing, it's 2 coins. If it's not you, it's someone who is next to you.
Yes.
Right. And I live at Shababusiu. I work at Pioneer Mall as a plant-based chef, hence why the word or the term plant-based influencer. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much for that bio. So let's get right into it.
Okay.
Diet
Yes.
and mental health.
Yes.
These two correlate.
They do.
So
A lot.
we eat and our brain is affected. Can you
Exactly.
tell us a little bit about that?
Okay, I once read a book, and it's just next to me. A book that is called A Healthy Brain for Life.
Yeah.
This book is telling us about the brain that is healthy. Even the colors, it's orange and green. It represents green for mental health. Even our logo, by the way, at Healthy by Choice, represents those both colors. Green stands for mental health, and the orange color stands for physical health. So the book I read says, if you feed your brain the wrong stuff, your body will suffer. However, if you feed it the right foods, it will bloom, it will thank you, it will nourish your body even more. This thing is divided into 4 sections. We've got a box that has 4 boxes. The upper box stands for S, which is the spirit. The second one, it's an M. Then M, B, and B. S stands for spirit. When you have opened this podcast, you said you are canvassing for the second coming of Jesus Christ, which is now we are rooted and grounded in Christ, which is S, the Holy Spirit.
Yes.
Now the S influences the M, which is the mind. Now, if your mind is roaming around, it will not give you the great results. You need to make sure that you need to pay attention on what you are feeding the mind. Now, the mind is influencing the first B, which is the body. Now, the body, whatever you eat, it will show in you, whether the skin or your bones, your hair, your nails, the way you portray yourself and otherwise. And then the B, which is the brain, affects the B, which is the body, right? So when we eat well, basically as Healthy by Choice, we are saying, let's eat well to nourish our bodies, not only our bodies, even our brain and our minds. Because we think that health, it's only the physical part of it. We always forget about the mind side of the things. So ho bua Sesotho ke reng ho lona Basotho tsatsing lena ha re qaleng ho ja hantle. Ho ja hantle doesn't have to be expensive. It needs to be mindful. It needs to be thoughtful. It needs to be creative. If you're not creative, you're definitely not going to eat healthy. My husband always says to me and the customers, if you have a big TV at home, sell it and buy a powerful blender, because you cannot make a smoothie if you don't have a blender. You cannot make juice, which is green, which is going to nourish your body. It's just that I don't have time to be unpacking this topic to give more benefits. But all I'm saying is that if you are eating well, your brain is going to function perfectly. Let's take for an example. If you're at the office and it's 4 o'clock late, you are taking chips, Coke, and sweet stuff. What happens after that? You definitely get tired and drowsy. You want to sleep.
Yes.
You are no longer functional. You're no longer productive. You need to make sure that you eat the fresh fruits. Because in the morning, you eat a breakfast like a king. You take lunch like a prince, and then you take your supper like a queen. Because if you do it the other way around, your digestion system, and then your brain cannot function well because the digestion system is not working properly. So they are linked
together.
So people always say, you guys are confusing us. You are teaching us about mental health and physical health at the same time. They're actually the same thing.
Okay.
What happens here?
Affects here.
It affects here because digestion affects the gut health, and the gut health is your whole brain. Thank you so much.
That is wonderful. Pearl?
You know, as Menala is speaking, I'm reminded of a video I saw on TikTok where this lady was talking about gut health. And she was basically saying, sometimes you think you're going through a spiritual attack, and the problem is your gut.
No, before you continue, I remember, thank you so much for bringing that. Because when I found out that I was bipolar, by the way, would always say, no, this child, because she's intelligent, she it's a spiritual battle. And people say she's demonic. She needs to be taken to the soothsayers. And my dad back then was not an Adventist when we were suspecting this. We didn't know totally until I came to Lesotho. You know, one thing I want to mention, coming to another country for me was a blessing more than if I can take that topic, because that's when I discovered that I'm bipolar, because I've always think that I'm hallucinating and all that. All along I was bipolar. It is just that I was not yet diagnosed. So Mohamed, I want to say to you and challenge you, Uguti, if your child is too hype, take time to observe the child. Take time to observe yourself. Check the background of the child. What has happened from his or her childhood? Do they have any traumas? Because we're very quick to judge those people. We even label them, which is not the case, by the way. This I am observing because I love my child. That's like you would do to yourself. Do to others as you know the rule.
Yes.
Exactly.
I love that. And you know, I'm reminded of Hore Basotho khale bana ba dumela hore ngwana ha je dijo kaofela. Like I'm reminded that re ne re rutwa when I was in primary school hore mohlala bana ba banana bana ba sa dungolo ho ja mahe lebese bo nama ya dikgopo at an early age. And I know when I heard it I thought, why don't you want us to eat food? But you learn that they understood the development of a child, that there are certain foods that affect our behavior. And I was reminded of that when you're speaking, that what we eat affects our mental health and our behavior.
I grew up like that, and I hated every bit of it. When my dad, we grew up in a farm. My dad is a farmer, and my mom would introduce to us these patties and gluten and everything. Yeah, they were nice, but we wished that maybe we could have done that for a certain period of time. But when I'm old, I am so grateful for that life because I've never had a skin problem. I'm a big person, by the way. I can be big up to size 42. But because of the food I eat, I manage to control my weight. So this thing, it's not existing. I want to challenge Mumamedi no, if you are diabetic today or unale hypertension, hasili foods. It's because generation after generation they eat the same food. Generation after generation they eat the same food. Now, when you say no to those things, that's when we see the different results from this person who's not eating like you. If I'm making sense. For instance, at home, Runa, we batho ba hlokomelang diet, but re a tseba gore batho ba hanto zake ke batho ba big by nature. But we happened to be following this diet, and our brains are very sharp because we eat well. It's because you take care of yourself. It's because you read books that are going to nourish your brain. It's because you do things that are going to open your brain, like fresh air in the morning, instead of closing your door the whole day and being friends with walls. Instead of like go swimming, go do natural things, then your brain will respond thus.
Ma'am, anything to say?
I feel challenged.
Same.
Definitely.
Same.
I'm realizing that there's more improvement needed.
Right? And on that theme of improvement, I realized last week when we were talking about the mind that, okay, up to this point, there's what we have done right and wrong. So what we can do from here is to learn how to do things the right way. So you, Menala, being here with us is such an honor and a privilege. So help us to now, how do we then eat properly? Like, what is a good diet? Because I just recently found out that the balanced diet we learned of in primary and high school is not really it, right? So walk us through what is considered a good diet that can support our brains.
Our brains. Okay. Let's take. My mother was a teacher.
Oh yes.
You will have to forgive me. This is your plate.
It is well.
Right. So these are my dry tips. Don't worry. Now this portion, like your feast, it has to take a whole grain, not starch. Let's first understand terminology.
Yes.
Because isinya honamono. One of the reasons today Banting and keto diet is flexing or seem to be flexing on the internet, it's because of the terminology. By the way, that's a nonsensical diet because it kills people. You lose weight, but an unhealthy body that is thin. Let me repeat that statement.
Yes.
When you join Banting or keto, you become very good looking weight, but an unhealthy one. Hence why at the end they develop hypertension, your cardiovascular diseases, because that's a high fat diet. You cannot be eating a lot of fats with no grains. I mean, it doesn't make sense.
Yes.
We were born and we were created to eat like that. Now, the feast, you need to take the whole grain. The whole grain, like number one, bulgur wheat.
Bulgur wheat.
If you are gluten intolerant, don't take it. You can replace that with quinoa, Quinoa, quinoa. It's a gluten-free grain that helps you to lose weight. It kills the abdominal fat. The third one is teff grain. It's a grain that is from China. It's brown in color. The other ones are white. It really depends on which one do you prefer, really. You can use that for your breakfast. We have amaranth. Amaranth, by the way, we have it here in Lesotho. It's just that rona receive it sa ili moroho. Ibitswa tepe. So tepe, if you look at its seeds, they are tiny seeds ka hare mono. When they are dried, that is amaranth. It's family of quinoa. And it's also good to maintain your weight. Because the nicest thing about eating the right diet is that it puts you where you're supposed to be effortlessly. We practice New Start, right? I'm going to unpack it, right?
Yes.
And then the fifth last grain, prime rice, basmati rice, or black rice. Those three rice, they are very high in antioxidants. They give you the good fat. They are very high in protein. So people, they are always asking us as plant-based people, where do you get your protein? You get it from these very same grains.
From the grains.
From the grains. Quinoa is very high in protein. Rice, amaranth, all these grains that I've just mentioned. Then we can even give you a bonus of a millet. Indians eat a lot of millet, and you never see an Indian with a bad skin. Their skin is as smooth as a born child.
Yeah.
Then from there, I can see your face, you want to ask a question. Then the big portion must take vegetables.
Okay, so feast is your grains, whole grains.
Whole grains, because they are filling. You don't have to 3 spoons. Just one feast of a grain. It's enough. Because you're going to incorporate it with your vegetables. Vegetables now, they can be in the form of 3 ways. You can steam them the right way. Don't put too much water when you cook your vegetables because you are losing nutrients. So the method that is preferred, it's either raw or the roasted one. For instance, if you take your butternut, you roast it, you just add your olive oil, season with your rosemary, that nala dries, or you can just take your garlic powder or your onion powder. Then the flavor is there. You don't need all these spices that are containing MSG. Just natural. Stick to natural if you want to live healthy, both for your brain and your physical health. Holistically. And then the third part, it should be protein. It's either your chickpeas, it's either your satay or your roasted pumpkin, you sprinkle your spirulina powder, it's either your tofu, it's either your chunks, it's either your patties, whatever that you decide on really. Because this bufangedi of high-fat diet, leaving the other things out, it's really out of fashion because it makes people to sleep in the bed of hospital, and it is not nice. They are going through a lot. Okay. Then the last one, it's really optional. You can use your raw herbs like your coriander herbs, your parsley, your dill, your mint, your basil, whatever green stuff. But you just need them. Or you can slice your cucumber because it contains 92% of water, or your tamati or your lettuce. But make sure that you arrange your plate quite well so that it looks good, so that the next person abatle huja. Uinse how bula statement sa how for the second coming of Jesus Christ. And it's high time for us to understand that food is ministry. It's not only about flexing. It's not only about exercising your gift or sharing your gift with the world, but you are actually wafangkheda because Dijo is ministry. Third angel's message.
Yes. I love how you just brought, but before we feel more to the Bible, ma'am, from what she said, did you learn anything new? I have a lot that I've learned.
I've been thinking about Tabena Tepe. You know, I did not think it had that, whole grain in it. And I'm also thinking, I don't know, this is probably a silly thought. I'm eating veggies and whole grain at the same time.
And it's very high in protein.
Wow.
It's very high in protein. Tepe.
Wow. Yeah, I feel like I'm going to present my parents with a new grocery list.
And to think, tepe ke moroho wa Sesotho e tlhahisang lefela. Like it's found anywhere and everywhere. It just grows. And I remember Nkgono wa ka would go, in English we call it foraging.
Yeah.
But Anna should just be and she'd just be going some leaves with like seeds. I'm like, so from this moro. She's like, yeah, and then she chops it and we eat it.
My point.
But I did not know that we also have plant-based protein. Therefore, it eliminates that question now, where do plant-based people get that protein? And I like how you debunked the whole plate, the whole diet, and also you brought in the element. This, diet ministry, it's a form of evangelism.
Yeah, it is.
And so can you walk us through how then we can say, okay, if I eat properly and my mind is well, how do we then link it to the work of God or to the Bible?
Okay, but before we get to that, challenge how sometimes we don't know hore re fuwe letlotlo le jwang ka dihlahiswa tsena tse itlhahisang. Let's take for instance stinging nettle, bobati.
Oh, yes.
Do you know how powerful that herb is?
I have no idea.
You can never ever have nkgono a kula ke high blood pressure ka tlong o na le bobatsi ke hana. I refuse. Because bobatsi wabuga of course ka plastic ya hao,
Yes.
then ubunehela metsing ubulaya the stinging part.
Yes.
Then ubuge, then you rinse it. It's either you dry it like I did here. But I always dry my herbs because it's one of my favorite things to do when kibona ikareng buhlanya buyaqala. Well, as people say, I'm sorry to be using that term, I'm not supposed to be. This one is oregano. So I always do with stingy nickel. You can dry it, but the right way. Make sure that it's not under the light. Make sure that it's not exposed to the sunlight. You find the dark place to dry
there.
so that it becomes a tea. And you also preserve it so that when summer comes, because winter when that summer comes, you still have plenty of bobads.
Okay.
The second option, you can take it ilijwalo, put it in your blender, add a little bit of salt, add your raw olive oil, the extra virgin one that is in a dark glass bottle. Because we need to get into details when we talk about food, because we think that all olives that are rich in olives are olive oils, which are not. If it's in a plastic bottle, it's not olive oil. It has to be in a dark glass bottle. I'm just giving you some details now. As a plant-based influencer, what do I influence people with? Now, after adding olive oil and salt, you just blend and add a little bit of water. That is your sauce. When you actually drink it, it is very tasty without any efforts. The third part, you can steam it and then sieve it. Obviously, it's going to be green. You drink that, knowing that ujile bobat boy hlaisile nguso batalili £2, but waipeku. Now the fourth one, which we all know, but I prefer people to take stingy needle while it's still in its natural form, which is still raw. It's more powerful, highly raw than hype.
Okay.
Now yabubedi, it's lishwabe, which is dandelion. It's either in the form of a root or in the form of herb.
Yes.
Wainka, you do the same thing. But lona liababa, you can't make sauce out of it. But bobati bona habubabi. Then you make tea, then you drink. Itula ietsa kelelo ya hao ehlwekileng. It removes the toxins from the brain. Yaboraru, it's manis mongo ngana hutleting wemut ka sutu king. Lingana le lingata lesotho haba wa hopula ka covid
yes.
In our health shop ne re rekisa haholo because ne le thusa the infections ke fa basotho jwale dihlahiswa tsa bona modimo ba fileng tsona ba sa di dumeleng sometimes ba di batla le boxing la magoa. Take this thing, God didn't make a mistake ka ufa basotho that herb ilingata ya uqedela nje emafteng ingata kapa che ya second last it's rose hip morubei. Rose hip motho ana le mahlo, motho ana le pelo, motho ana le skin. It is so good, and it fana ka vitamin C engata. So ha summer the oranges, the siko, the lemons, let's stick to rose hip so that it gives us a lot of vitamin C. Ya buhlan iteng qoting le khala alio ka se tshware ke mala le digestion le colon editila, and yet ndate modimo o le file le khala le suthu mona na re tsebe ho nwa ile tea. Now answering your question hore hantle taba tsa kelello le dijo, how do they link? That was your question, right? They link because we were made to eat like in the Garden of Eden. But according to the Bible, from the book of Numbers chapter 11, God gave people quails because people wanted meat.
Yeah.
And then because God gave us choices, He's not going to force us to eat. Hence why we are healthy by choice. This name called healthy by choice, it's because we do things by choice.
Oh yes.
Because once but ba force ka ba uqobela wetsa dinto o ka se khone ho di etsa hantle. You need to be given choices for you to fly. So that modimo o re fa choices o reng now that le batla the quails nama ile ka itja ki enana. But it does not dispute the fact that nama was not made for us. We are not carnivores. We are herbivores. That's why in the book of Genesis chapter 1 verse 29, we have been given the herb and the seed and the fruit for us to nourish our bodies. A book I read, Ministry of Healing. It talks about that. There's a chapter that I love there that says, diet and whatever. But this book, buy yourself this book and read it thorough. Then you'll understand why we are not eating meat. We are not eating meat because we are not eating meat because the vegetarians or plant-based. We're not eating meat because rija kadikelelo. Hence why we need to take care of our brains.
Yes.
Because ubonahala kadi decisions your brain is healthy. Iringi ipite. Ubonahala kadi decisions or dieta lead the choices that you make gore kelelo ya hao ipite jwang.
You are taking me back to last week where we were talking about how our brain works. And I'm realizing today yet again that what we feed it, not just what we behold, what we hear, but now what we eat, will even affect the mental choices. So, and just segueing it in there, that name Healthy by Choice now has a totally new meaning to me. Pearl?
Exactly.
I just want to appreciate how much Menala really takes care of her brain. We seldom think to put in any effort to even be cognizant. You know, I don't know, you blame it on chance, you blame it on but how that's really inspiring.
Exactly. Because this goes back to Bana Baba Nyanyane. You know, when Anna Lady and Pearl, I always advocate for kids when it comes to mental health or mental illness, because mental illness does not start with Limuka.
Yes.
It starts with from a teacher that says, Naledi will never be anything in life because he does not understand maths. Naledi will never be anything in life because he doesn't like A, B, C, and D. It's because when you are dark, then it starts with the body shaming, the name calling, and you grow up with that in your subconscious mind. You are what they told you because obviously. So let's try by all means to water our kids. Let's try to nourish, let's try to give them the beautiful fragrance from the flowers, not to destroy their mental health. Because mental health is a serious issue these days. Our kids need to do better than us. Our parents didn't know better. They were hating us because they were hurt. That's why there's a statement that says, hurt people, hurt people.
That is really true. You know, speaking of development, Lehore, Menala, you seem to be a person that really takes care of yourself, not just kahoja, but even the books that you read. And wena, Muya Khabani, you are taking care of yourself by watching this podcast. Let me put you on as we go to a quick advertisement. And I have a marriage and finance seminar, Kadi 28 Samach. Listen, you want to attend such because we need a rewiring of our minds and the development thereof. And like she said, the decision are not necessarily influenced by the people we are now, but they are coming from how we grew up. And as we're learning today, what we are eating. So I want us, because ke batla hore Oscar fa dintho kaofela akere at the moment ke batla take us through Healthy by Choice and how le re thusa jwang ha re se re fitla ho lona re batla ho lokisa ekaba our diets or food that support our mental health.
All right.
Yes.
The first thing we do at Healthy by Choice is to teach people how to stop certain habits. We give them tools. We teach them what can replace whatever. It's not only about meat. It's not only about eggs and liquid meat, which is dairy. It's even about spices. You might not be eating meat, but you still add some spices
MSG.
that are including meat and that have monosodium glutamate, as you just mentioned, which is MSG. We teach people about foods that are GMO free. We teach people about spices that are non-irradiated, so that you become healthy holistically.
I just want to ask, what is GMO? Because it's one of those taglines, something.
Buzzwords.
Yes, that thing.
Okay. The terminology doesn't matter. At this juncture, it doesn't make sense for me and you to eat grapes that are seedless.
True, because how were they made?
It does not make sense to take narkis that doesn't have seeds, and yet we call it food. Because the narki that you grow at the back of your yard, it has got seeds.
Yes.
The grapes have got seeds.
Yes.
So ho etsetse jwang hore dijo hana tjena na ha di na ditholwana? Hape dijo di lokisetse gore ha o di jetse seed e salang e sale ho tisa tse ding. Now what happened all of a sudden? Let's look at those shops that are selling foods that do not contain seeds. Just know gore ho tletse GMO mono. By the way, the terminology is genetically modified organisms.
Oh,
GMO.
Okay.
MSG, monosodium glutamate. Wabona he yona MSG ikotsi ho fita ebile it damages the brain. It grows the toxins ka monana ka kelellong ebile wa kgathala ebile e wetsa o lebale lo lebala. Hence why hangata re na le batho ba lebalang. It's because of the foods we eat, because you're not careful of what you add, the ingredients. I know, now I'm going to have some takeaway from a certain shop. You don't know what is included there. Hence why we teach people how to cook. I'm trying to answer your question, Jai. We teach people how to cook, how to grow food, how to make their own kombuchas. For instance, who are addicts when it comes to alcohol. There are herbs tse nkgang jwalo ka alcohol. When you drink them, you certainly stop smoking. Those are campaigns we are trying to make at Healthy by Choice, because we cannot always be bringing problems, not solutions. And Healthy by Choice is a solution to Basotho when it comes to whether food or beverages or anything for that matter. Right. Yes. Let's not always make bush tea. Let's try by all means to make your chamomiles, your valerian. Those herbs, all of them. I think mono, there's hops, there's valerian, there's chamomile, and I think there's ashwagandha, if I'm not mistaken. I took them, I picked them, they belong to my house, not to the shop. So I always drink them. When kibona ikaring kikwatile hanyanyani that day, I pick chamomile because chamomile can only be taken also by kids as well. But hakibona ikaring kelelo ipapame than chamomile stage, I take my hops because hops ipamile. Now it's becoming a little bit of moderate. It's from mild to a little bit of moderate. Now when it's moderate, I take my ashwagandha. It's also going to help me with my hormones, especially haki atametse nako ya di periods. Now when it is extreme, I take my valerian. I definitely mix it with hemp seeds. Hemp seeds hekimadekwana, but we need to use them the right way, and you have to get license for you to sell them in the shop.
Do you know what I like? Basotho ba rata hore ngaka ha iphekole menala wa iphekola. You understand? I like that the products she's bringing.
Yes.
Ke dintho tsa reng I use it when this is happening. Hore lo wena o tsebe hore ha o jwetsa hore I recommend this to you.
Exactly.
It works. She knows it.
Yes.
She's living proof and testimony for that.
Exactly my point.
Yes.
So in continuation with that,
yes.
Last Sunday, we started a program with the kids where we're teaching them about, this is my son's name. So he made this kombucha from scratch. So fermenty, but after 30 days, it will be fine and it will have the SCOBY, which is what is needed by the brain. Did you know how powerful SCOBY is for your brain?
No.
Now, if it's not kombucha, it has got to be an apple cider vinegar. I'm sure you can see some apples that are not yet fermented, but it's starting the fermentation. So at Healthy by Choice, we don't just give people products that are store-bought. We make them from scratch. If you can go to the store and get our apple cider vinegar, the taste is way, way different. Because those are the things we want to give. Because riska is at into because really bang. There was once a quotation I once read that says, if you ala ladder hudimo, you will be lonely at the top. But if you ala a big table, that's when Naledi will be sitting, Pearl will be sitting, and Nala will be sitting. And the three of us will ladder other 3 people. Then we are 3, 6, 9, and 12. Then 12 people times 12, we are 144. You understand? Yes. I was good at maths, by the way, so I'm just flexing. So this is my apple cider vinegar.
Yes.
I want to challenge people from their homes. Let's not always cook lentils as a stew. Let's also make our own sprouts from scratch. To clear our brains.
Sprouts are important. Hobane.
Very.
To me, my only relation with sprouts you see people put them like on top of a salad or something as garnish. But I didn't know.
Yes. You know why they're garnishing with them? Because babatla the right dosage. Because as much as you are eating healthy, new start, the first T there stands for temperament. As much as you're doing it right, you need to be doing it enough. You can't drink 10 liters of water a day, as much as water is good. You can't be basking for 3 hours
in the sun.
Yeah. You can't be swimming for 30 hours, as much as it's a good exercise. You need to rest, hence why there's an R from new start. Rest.
Before we get into new start, ma'am, anything?
You see, I'm looking at these sprouts and I'm remembering or realizing that I've been watching my parents eat them for the past couple of years, and I've just been like, enjoy.
They're not tasting
but
so good.
Now,
Hey?
they don't even smell like they taste good. But now I'm thinking I'm gonna join. You know?
I know, right? Like, I'm listening.
We eat things guys.
True.
Mental health is about that.
Yeah.
You decide to do something. How you do it, iba munati, because you have convinced the brain. It's all about.
Quiet. Yes.
And utlaibits or sprouts. And it took a lot of
I like that. I like that a lot.
All right, the last one, it's sauerkraut. It's the way we preserve the cabbage. This one is the red cabbage, as you can see the color. So we spoke about gut earlier on. And if our guts are not good, there's no way our brains can function well. But we choose to be ignorant as people. So before ujwetsa, wena itlhokomele. Hlokomela the gut. Underneath the digestion, hona le gut ka mono. Ering nala, ngtlhokomele before it's too late. So what's sauerkraut? Sauerkraut, it's a Dutch word. Sauerkraut, sour cabbage. Waibodisa ka monana.
Okay.
Iphekula le batho ba na le cancer inananto. You're not. It's very powerful. Your sauerkraut, your kimchi, your all of these things that are fermented in a glass bottle. That's why we ferment ka the glass bottle.
Why?
Because glass bottle ifana ka scope is a pure.
So what is SCOBY?
SCOBY, it's from, I don't know, it's something about this. Yes. That is SCOBY. I don't think eating because
Okay.
The microbes wa bona ikaring hona le the bacteria ra gona ho dietsela rona ke le mmele wa gona. You will get, for instance, wa bona bana ba rata ho papala ka mobu empa ke hopola party eno ha o bana o ba tloela ba papala ka mobu fatshe ba fumana bacteria e ke be mmele wa bona o gone o etsa. Ha bana ba tsama ka maoto fatshe ba tshwara the tree ba fumana healing ibe ba gona ho etsa ha ba papala ka tiles ka pavementing. So rona hana jana na we want them to be clean. We don't want them to be dirty. Why that child has not ask at that stage. It brings a lot of healing. Because
inside.
Tree, for instance, how it helps the lungs. Ulaka swim ka dieta?
No. They're heavy.
No.
Okay.
Why usa swim ka dieta?
I'm not sure.
How can I come ube?
Good question.
I know, right? But
I'm giving you homework for that.
Yes, please. I've heard that it has something to do with our lungs and air in our body. But we need to do a lot of research on that. I'm thinking how waka SCOBY chena. Can we liken it to sort of yeast, like something like that, the same fermentation process? How yeast, or it's different?
It's different.
Okay, cool.
That's why there are two types of yeast. There's dry yeast and active yeast.
Okay.
And matsatsing anan usuyetsa active yeast bohobe within an hour sebunyulutsile huzolo bo bake, and we think we're going to be a healthy generation.
Okay. Nekibuaka, when I said yeast, I should have used another word.
Okay.
Kase sotoki tomoso.
Oh yeah, that's the right one. Yani ya mabele. O etse ka botlolo ya galase, o etse nyanyane o ipe. That is the perfect one. That's why batho ba gale ne ba sa puli. But re isinya ka o kenya tswekere ha isi butswe. When it's ready, you need to add sugar before fermentation. Sugar is used to ferment. When the sugar is fermented, it's powerful. But high ferment, then it destroys the body. You understand? Hence why li khali hunu jwa mashili a fermentang ka khala seng kutsele tswekere then li phewe li be sawa ka hanong. It would help you. And how lija hunu baleha mo?
Because of the sour taste.
That is needed. Yes, that's how you make nutritionalist flake. Nutritionalist flake, it's grown, it's a bacteria that is grown, then buy from the garden, and then they just bake it to stop the bacteria from growing. Because I see who email at the body. Exactly. We need to research about these things. We need to understand health. Why? Something because it's not working because we need to thorough research about our topics. I'm not trying to be pedantic here, but I'm educating Tseba Sabasutu because I believe personally as an individual Eastern Cape and I'm not in competition with anyone, but I am here to fulfill my purpose. And fulfill my purpose where in Lesotho.
I need to find Mosotho la re batle ho tshwana le ditjhaba tse ding kapo le makgowa because listening to you I'm like Basotho were onto something. Ba ne ba sa tsebe, but the knowledge that they had, like you said, what we eat influences how we think, and so it influenced how they thought.
Yes.
Me, the decline in society today is as a result of the food.
That's the food. You know what the problem is? We think that food is all about standards. And the day we stop that mentality, we are going to get the healthier Lesotho, both mentally and physically. You're not going to tell me that pizza is healthier than papa in Moroho. You're not there going to tell me that. Because pizza is just a mere white flour that is processed with no fiber. And the cheese that are no longer healthy. And vegetables that are not even fresh, that are from the bottles, that have been there for 7 years. And then is not healthy. No, think again. Think again. You're not going to tell me when now busy from you are healthier than mutu hamang de hobo. You are not going to tell me that. It affects us mentally. You're not going to tell me mutu or reguling mutu are reguling 2 kg ya nama isali dutse ka fridging esa boling le haibewe no matter how many years o healthy than mutu a hlabileng go isali lelekiswa for 7 years ejang pone. We need to develop what we call slow food for our mental brains, for our brains to be healthy. This book is talking about that, by the way. You need to get this book. I found it here. Lesotho, not whole. And I found the title very interesting. And then I read it. And it tells us about the diet and exercise. 60% diet and 40% exercise.
That time we think it's the other way around.
That time we think it's the other way around. Hence why we need to walk more than running. Have you ever noticed that people are running, they gain weight like 3 times when they have stopped? But those who walk, they never, because walking is natural. We are not horses. We're not going to run here. We're going to walk. Because walking was meant for us.
Yeah.
Hence why people always have injuries. Because they are running like horses. Horses were made to run. Because it was not meant to run.
Yeah, they just walk.
Exactly my point. Have you ever seen homo in diabetes, mental health, mental illness?
No.
What does it eat?
Just grass.
Greek grass and? What does it drink? Juice? Drink? Coke?
Water.
Oh, I thought it in a homo. In a coke. I thought it in a mudona litzwigiri. Arabile, have I jamabele aro? Then we should do like the homo. Then we can be like the homo. Exactly my point. Exactly my point. And what do they do at night? Do they party?
Oh no.
They sleep. They sleep. And at what time do they wake up? The who especially.
Very early.
Rona re tswa kana komang.
Oh, menala.
Wa bona na mental health gore ke ntho e bobebe jwang but re etsa e be thata. Let's look around. Let's just learn everything from nature. One of the powerful books that Ellen G. White from Early Writings or Last Day Events, it look at the nature, how it does things. Then, have you ever seen Homo Ishebetse TV? You haven't?
No.
I'm sure you haven't.
Hey.
I'm sure you haven't.
Yeah.
But we do a lot.
A lot.
A lot.
A lot.
But the Homo, do you think they read books? Yes, they do. They do. They look at the sun. They know gore hana je it's late. Di qale o nyolohela di tlela beng. But rona re etsa jwang? Re seta di alarm.
Do you know what you're saying? My child asked me, how do chickens know that it's in the morning for them to crow? Because they don't do it at night. Neither do they do it in the afternoon. How? Who tells them? I said, I don't know. Maybe God put a clock in them. Then he said, where's our clock? If chickens have clocks, then we should definitely have clocks.
That's the power of nature. That is the power of nature.
Yeah, ma'am.
Exactly my point. Basotho banali a proverb that I love so much. Neki ka hanyanyane and neki sebetsela ntho tse ding. This proverb iring liwatle le a ihlwekisa. Lo wena wa ihlwekisa when you do the right things. How ja handle? How kuli. We're not saying you're not going to die.
Yes.
But stop existing and start living.
Yeah.
Just like Gimanzuya Michael Jackson. Stop existing and start living.
Ma'am, before I ask my next question, any thoughts?
Speaking of chickens and their alarms, one other fascinating thing I noticed about chickens is they know when it's time to go back in the coop. And I've always wondered how,
Yeah.
they don't wander off. But also, Menala, you spoke about mental health issues starting from a very young age. And I was reminded of a video I saw on Facebook. Yeah, this little child in the grocery store, like clingy to that point. And it reminded me of when I was young because I used to be that clingy. Every time Shoprite or grocery, I would hold my parents' gadiparo. And as I grew older, I developed this, or I thought I was developing this anxious attachment style. But it was until I saw the video and this attachment style is a little thing, And so it's worth, thinking we need to invest in kids' mental health. Exactly. Now that I'm learning from this episode, because I can't even trace back for the life of me now why can I attachment style, And now I'm thinking probably I've been intoxicating my brain with food. Who knows? But yeah.
Yeah, that is true.
That is so true. Now that Upel has mentioned something about kids, ke kopa o fana ka dijo tsa bobedi.
Yes, please.
Tsa kelello now. You see these glass bottles? Ke kwa bonahala gore hlile ke motho a sebetsang ditaba tsa kelello. As soon as I discovered that I was bipolar disorder with anxiety disorder, because it's both for me. It used to be both for me. I had to sit down. First of all, I was in a denial stage, obviously. And then I said, okay, denying this, what is it going to help me with? Nothing. The first step is to accept. Accept yourself. This is who I am. And you need to accept and understand that healing is messy. You're going to lose friends. Relationships are going to be broken. And others can never be amended again. But as long as they are going to leave you uli wena uli handle, then none else matters. Now with kids, I have this beautiful glass jar. I always talk about it whenever I go. Buy your kids such things. I do this with my kids and alone sometimes. Let's just pick this one, but it will depend. I won't be able to read them.
Yes.
And then this one says, Lord, I am grateful for Lebu, Viwe, Kalu, Mala, Bali, my husband Nana, for keeping this company alive while I was not okay. You need to first understand that in your life, as much as you're serving your purpose, you can never do it alone.
Yeah.
Let me repeat that statement so that it sinks. Clock it. You need to understand that as much as you are serving your purpose in life, you can never do it alone.
True.
Right?
Yes.
Now, it talks about the positive things. You need to have a glass jar where you are thanking God on a monthly basis.
Yes.
Doesn't have to be every day.
Yes.
It depends on which color you want to pick. Of course, the green ones, they talk about the brain. The yellow ones, when I'm happy.
Yes.
The white one, when I'm at peace. The orange one, when I want to deal with my physical part, I want to thank. The red one, it's when I'm kitswenyehile. Red, yeah, for goal.
Yes.
Almost none. Because red, even with color, if you understand coloring and painting and art, red means fire. You are dangerous to yourself, so you need help. So with red, I really didn't have time to write everything, to touch everything. This is what it is. So buy your kids this jar and these colorful things and different pens. There are somewhere here.
Yeah.
The green ones when you're okay. The red one when you really want help. Lead pencil, temporary situations that you're still going to erase. And then black one, the normal life. Right? We were taught those things, guarding mental. And then I want to get to this, Naledi.
Yes.
Please hold yours.
here.
I'll take green for obvious reasons.
Okay, yes.
Now, when you are ahead, teach your kids this. When you're ahead, teach your kids things. Let's inhale. Hold. Right?
Yeah.
Do you think it's going to help you to release something when you are angry? Because not everything is worth sharing sometimes. Because sometimes when you become confrontational, you are hurting the other people. But sometimes you can use this technique of inhaling. Let's do it again. Hold it. And then after that, you tie it.
And that is it.
Right? Now, everything that you had with, it's here inside. Then you take your pen. I can't find my pen. But you write everything. Come on. Write it. And now it's
Yes.
time for us to burst the balloon.
Yeah.
Because you've written everything that hurts you. Hey,
Yeah.
my boyfriend did this. My girlfriend did this. Church people did this. At work they did this. My husband did. My wife, my child, whoever. Because in a process, sometimes we do get hurt. But we need to understand that not everything we share.
Yes.
Then let's take, or you can just write one word. I'll just write Falang because he's my husband.
Yay.
If you can and I don't want to get into details, I just write Falang. Or else if I don't, Kiri, yesterday, this is what has happened and I don't like that. Those dear diary things.
Yes.
And I don't like this A, B, C, and D. You'll be writing what is hurting. You are releasing an anger. Remember, from Sfubing, this. It works with you psychologically, that thing, because you need a healthy brain. Because being an overthinker will damage you, not the next person. Holding grudges, it's like taking a poison and expecting the next person to die. Now you're still writing, I hate this person. I don't like. You become very honest because God is also listening. When you are alone in your room, get into your closet and write everything. It helps so much with me. Do. And then after this, you burst the balloon.
Yeah.
You want to listen to that sound.
Yeah.
And then when it bursts, you really become better. Let's try it.
I'm scared. Wait. You actually popped it.
I actually did because I've been doing this exercise and it has been working for me. If the year didn't go well, you'll do it in December. If God didn't answer you, Wamongola in a balloon, God, why are you letting me like this? It's a way of praying as well, of clearing everything from your chest and from your brain. Teach your kids this technique because the world is very rough and it needs kids who are tough, who knows what to do at a time of trouble. We are going to pray, we are going to read our Bibles and verses, but we need to come real with life. If you are scared of balloons like you take an egg and a pencil, right? Now an egg still has a sound when we go banali.
Yes.
Just write one word, pale. Ne? And then you go outside where it's clear under the trees, alone, far away from people. And then ubuwe. It's like you're talking to this person.
Yeah.
Because the thing, how to utlisa the issues, keep quiet and use these techniques. Take an egg. You see?
Yeah.
And then after that, it feels so great and good.
It does. It really does.
Did it work with you?
It just worked. I wrote January and I wrote thesis because those two things were a lot in my brain.
Exactly my point. And now you need the stress balls. You really have to become like a child for you to teach your children.
How to do these
Go
things.
back to your child. For if how are tola lerato mme wa hao tsa mo kopa tshwarelo ho wena because mme wa mohlomong is underground like mine. Haiba it's the ex-husband gore ihlile o nkusile bohloko haholo. Write about those things. Stop keeping them because you're going to bleed. You are going to channel your anger to where it doesn't belong. And we want the healthy you.
Yes.
But if you're not healthy, you're going to bleed. And then when zabanya uyetse bat baba ngore baska baba nepahala hantle. Then the last one before we close the presentation. Oh no, the second last one. Take crayons.
And a piece of paper.
You take a paper. Your drawing will tell you how you feel.
True.
It will definitely tell you. For instance, when you start with this, it means that you are bright and happy and beautiful, right? Like, do this, and then, like, I'm going to do it. And then, red, you just thought of someone who makes you angry in life. And when you meet, it's like this. And then whatever color that is dominating,
Yes.
that is who you are. And you need to research about that color. What does it mean?
Yeah.
Right? Be like a child. Healing is messy and it does not make sense to the next person. And then black now, you are in a darkness, you are depressed.
You are depressed,
right?
yeah.
You are depressed. The minute you use a lot of black and red, you are so much depressed. And then orange, it's still bright colors. You should also check your child. Which clothes is he or she picking from the wardrobe? Shopping, test your child. Choose clothes. If you choose a black, with your child, how about something that he or she is hiding, and from school, or there's bullying that is happening, or the child all of a sudden all of a sudden those tantrums. Be very careful of that because the child is reporting something to you as a parent. Because if you don't pay attention to busy WhatsApp, then your kids will be something else. Because we are parents who are
too busy
with WhatsApp status sitting. Look at this drawing. Can you interpret it for me? These are mixed emotions.
Yes.
You are all over the place.
Yes.
There's a lot of color mix in you because whatever you draw, it is from within. It can never lie.
Yes.
This reflects your brain.
Yes.
It reflects your personality and your character at the moment. You can change this or you can choose to stay here. You stay here by taking one color at a time until it's all bright and beautiful here. Remove black, from depression or dark place. Don't hide yourself. You know, after I was diagnosed, I used to hide myself. I would fall in church and everyone would ask each other, what is going on with Msadwa Falang? And I'm like, oh gosh, husband, let's not tell them what is going on. I'm not yet ready to face people's remarks and name calling and whatever. And then it kept on happening, meaning that God was saying, tell them what is going on. Because for you to lead these people, you need to go down. Before God elevates you, you need to be messy, to be down. For God to elevate you, you need to be humble first. Now I allowed myself to be humble. I allowed myself to be messy. I allowed myself to be crazy, to be mad, to be scared, to be whatever, some sort of emotions that you can think of until God elevated me. Hence why the page that is called Lesotho Mental Health Support Group. I opened that page because I saw a gap between people who are affording and people who are not affording. Those who are not affording, they didn't know who to run to.
Yes.
Because whenever you talk to a psychologist, they require payment.
Yes.
Whenever you go to a psychiatrist, they require payment. And then I stayed in Muhlomi. I was injected there. I was like, I used to pee at myself and all that. And I said, not the next generation again. It must end with me.
You, yes.
As much as it started with me. Hence why the title of my book that I'm writing says, it had to be me to elevate someone else's life. Because what you're going through, your experiences, you must allow them gore di change bophelo batho ba bang. Because if o dutse le di experiences tsa hao, o tsebe gore o gateletse ministry where God would use you best.
You know, I'm learning hore the well-being yamoto is a holistic thing. We can't shove food in your face and not deal with the physical and the mental. We can't also say, go to a therapist, go develop your brain, and you're not eating well.
Exactly my point.
We're also not going to give you food and then also take you to a therapist, but without you actually dealing with the rest of everything. I like this intertwined nature of a human being that I'm seeing, and I'm learning that di hlokahala kaofela. Hore nahane hantle, eat well. For you to eat well, you need to actually think that you do actually
Exactly
need to
my
eat
point.
well. And the healing process, allowing yourself to feel all those. I think even the food that we eat influences our emotions and our hormones.
Exactly my point. Now, it's not only about food. Remember, I said it's all about New Start, the holistic health. Now, I remember when I was bipolar disorder, my psychiatrist said, Yanda, what do you love? I said, I love cooking. I love singing. I love dancing. I love people. I love writing. And then he advised me, it was him and my husband, that why don't you go and record a CD and become an artist? And I did. And if you can listen to this CD, it's not as perfect, but for me, it is perfect because I know where I'm coming from with the CD. It was a tool for me to heal. When I break high. There's a song that you always love with my daughter, Ulebu. The Love Lifted Me one. Breaker, love, because I was pregnant. And when I was pregnant, I gave birth to a son who was called Tulo Khechani. And that is the only son I kept his album for and his history. Because for me, I was looking forward to this child who kind of brought healing in my life. Because I would always ask God, how do you allow me to be pregnant in this situation that I am in? So these two things, I will never lose them in my life because they mean that Bibele, his name is Tulo, means victory. Meaning that I had to research for that name. I asked my husband, what does victory mean in Sesotho? And I want the word or the name to start with T because his brother is Dotliso. And I wanted my kids to be T Chinese. And these two were bought because I was sick. So sometimes when you turn the coin, it depends on you, really. Your healing is up to you, not to a psychiatrist. It's not up to a psychologist. It's up to you. What do you want to do? Now, the last one, I remember when I would have an episode, I would smell this. See, it's green and orange. Smell this and tell me how does it smell.
Oh, it smells good.
Do you think it elevates the mood?
Yeah,
When
it's
you're
like
not good.
It's like you can smell more of it.
Exactly my point.
Yeah.
There are essential oils there. One of them is lemon. If you can research one of the best essential oils that helps with you mentally, it's lemongrass, lemon, the frankincense. The frankincense is even found in the Bible. And the myrrh. Those four, if you combine them, you can steam with them. You can use your humidifier. You can do whatever with them. They elevate your mood. So, katlong, I always have these things. It really depends gore ke la bokae, ke feel jwang at the moment, and then I take this box and then I just smell it. And all of a sudden I feel good. And then after feeling good, I take all my diaries right here.
Yeah.
I've got an album also that keeps my memories. Every time where there was an episode, I would take a picture and place it here, because I'm busy compiling my documentary in life, because there's no way that I'm going to let my story go to the dustbin and be wasted. Not my experience. It had to be me, because I had to elevate others. God had to use me as a tool for to elevate others. So kilika uring lulun, even if no matter how much you're going through something, Tseba gore ntate Modimo ho na le dibaga o batla o etse something. Now let's get to the diary part and the dream life part. In life, you must have a dream diary.
Okay.
There's no way that you can live with purples in life.
Yes, that is
this
true.
This is yanda. This is flower that I drew. As a human being, we do not dream enough. I'm not going to read further.
Oh, yes.
This is dream number 1, my million dreams. You see? Dream number 1, dream number whatever, dream number whatever, dream number whatever. Make sure that you jot down your feelings. Whatever you ask from God, be intentional about it. We don't dream enough because we are being swayed by the social media. Haba social media, now we are becoming hype because our mental states are not in line with the will of God, number 1. And number 2, we are sick, but we think we are not sick. And the minute we realize that we are sick, but we differ in degrees, the better. Because the minute we shebisa huen, iska bantu ya bonala inan, ibe into ya rona kaofela, so that we can all find healing. And then I've got my chess game here. Yes. I've got my Scrabble. I've got my Monopoly. Play those games. Play your Sudoku. Play with numbers to elevate your brain. Because how do we every day? I'm a very intelligent person. Hence why I have all of these things. So that so that the journey they don't fall under the same pit. Yes. I make sure that bridge for them. They will have their fair shares in life. But at least I am practicing and teaching them the tools. Exactly.
Ma'am, any thoughts?
I'm thinking about the exercise that Menala showed us, drawing. What you draw reflects how you feel. And I'm reminded of a drawing I made in 2021, 2022. The Joker. For those who don't know now, the Joker, he's a DC universe villain.
Yes.
At the time I was drawing that character, I was obviously in a dark space, because what do you mean you're drawing a villain? But I was also in love with this villain, right? And a lot of people really love that drawing. And Menala, you mentioned that when you go through healing, it's messy. And I've been going through that season of healing since last year. And every time I look at that drawing, I draw because I remember where I was mentally when I drew it and how much I loved it. But now I am Tosa, But now I'm also thinking with you, Menala, documenting your experience, I should probably change my perspective, gather drawing, you know what, this is just me documenting.
Keep it.
My experience.
Keep it, my love.
Yes, this is keep where it. You were at.
Keep it, because when we don't keep things, we eventually forget.
True.
Usulibetili experience that you went through, so it went down the drain because when I chose not to jot about it. Okay. Yes. So we need to be people who are reading books. I know spiritual books are good, we cram verses and all that, but need to repeat the first book that I love, Where is God When It Hurts? I'm sure most of you knows this book. I read this book. It healed me a lot. I'm not going to read the books Nadiring. And then we are people who are needing to be educated by money, because we need to make money. And then now this is a simple rule that tells you, if your liabilities your assets, then you're not doing well in life. Sure. You need assets more than liabilities. Yes. Keep quiet and collect assets. Keep quiet. Those who know me, I drive Toyota Yaris. And it's not like I cannot afford another car, but I give because my brain taught me that to be healthy by choice is everything. Because
Yes.
utlo reka koloi e kgolo, then utla maintain utlo jela cheleta. But when you
Yes.
collect things that are going to be left to the next generation, it means that you made a choice and you are sticking by it.
Yes.
Because
hear
just today re na le bana ba pressure because of social media. Everyone wants to use an iPhone. But ka ba botsa gore why do you want an iPhone? Utlo bua ntwe one gore ke batla di picture tse ntle. I mean, you cannot buy such an expensive phone for gore o batla the pictures, ne? Ke a utlwisisa ha ba rong o reng mohlomong o na le business you want to record, then I understand. But why do you need an iPhone? It's a phone, right?
Yes. Like
Kapa
any
ha dire
other.
hello di mobile. They still say hello,
Yes.
but to batla iPhone because of pressure. Not necessarily because ukudule fatsile wena gore why do I want to drive Mercedes Benz? I want to drive Mercedes Benz because ke batla bonahala ke na le tšhelete. My husband once said something ela mtsosa a reng batho ba bangata ba breka ka tšhelete that has been used. Esiko anymore.
Yes.
Because ha mpontsha jean ya Levi's uring this jean was 10,000. It's no longer 10,000 because now the value has dropped. But motho a na le 10,000 ka bankeng o ke ba mkwa bua. If ingata ka monana ha iyo ka. Usually the loudest vessel is an empty one. The full one is quiet.
Yes.
Now, this is the book that I'm talking about. Robert Kiyosaki gives us the principles of how you live. As young youth, you need to buy these books. And then this one, it says, start happening. I love its very first line by Dr. Mwemba. It says, life is not a parking lot. Start happening. Start that engine.
Yes.
Ignite it and move. Now, when you start moving, that is what God wants us to do with our mental health. Start doing something towards the future. Then this one by Meribu Siu, it says, ignite the fire in you. There are so many illustrations that I love here that says, there are doers, thinkers, and watchers. Don't be a watcher, start being a doer.
Yes.
But you first watch, then do, then maintain. And then this other one, it says beyond broken. It means that in life we're still going to be broken. But after being broken, what do? Then the beyond part, it is up to you. Because God won't see it from the messy that you are in.
Yes.
The how part now we are beyond broken, it is really up to you. Then this one says, I fell in love with my abuser. Abuser does not necessarily mean someone who's a mutu. You can be abused by your same money that you have worked with. Ube arrogant monan. You can be abused by the car you bought. You can be abused by anything. So don't allow yourself to drown under the hands of your abuser. Fly out, open those wings and fly high just like an eagle and an eaglet. This one says, uneasy. It's a stubbornness. I'm not coming. If pizza babua kalibito like hampi on social media and everywhere, I'm not going to respond. Write it uli one kamonum na I'm not coming because I know my worth. Right? So ibankani in life for you to make it.
Yes.
And then this one, building a legacy. It has got different legacy. The legacy of love, not legacy acheleta. Because sometimes we never think of the legacies like a legacy of commitment. This book talks about the legacy of commitment, a legacy of responsibility, a legacy of integrity, a legacy of love, a legacy of sacrifice, a legacy of, there are so many legacies, and a legacy of sacrifice, integrity, love, initiative, patience, perseverance, commitment, curiosity, and performance. You need to perform in life. As a child of God who's waiting for the second coming of Jesus Christ, you need to start performing so that the world sees what is your foundation. Because if when now you do not deliver, you are embarrassing your creator.
True.
Because if you are flying high and you are making it like perfect, because Jesus was a perfectionist. When he was doing something, he made sure that he delivered. Because as a child of God who's waiting for the second coming, you need to stand up and working.
Yes.
Ignite the fire in you so that other people can see that you're a real child of God. What are you going to brag about? If the problem with that is with us, we don't want to struggle. We need to start struggle, build one step at a time. Problem I'm not there. Then this other one, I'm not going to talk about it. This one, it says, if
I can,
you
can.
Exactly my point.
Yes.
If you have seen someone a etsa di ene le wena o ka etsa jwang o ka etsa because problem ya rona we give up too early re wa ntho tseo ke tsa magua no ntho tsena ke tsa bonnala o bona ga ba tsebe Sesotho hantle no ntho tsena ke tsa batho ba bashanyana we label things according to genders according to age cultural diversity and everything kanti ungayenza mntasi you can do it and then this one says success fundamentals of success. What do you do? It's also written by Mary Busiu. And then this one, it says kukhulu kutembeka kaThixo. It just simplifies that when you trust in God, now the very last T of the new start, when you trust in God, everything happens. Now, in closing, the verse that I love, iring alewo ya buhlali kuhutaba Jehovah. How yetsa usabona? Think of the God who is watching you because there are consequences in everything that you do. How to jala dabula kunse tamati. How to jala the peas kunse asparagus. How to jala anything esatlohlaya. So whatever that you do, whatever action that you take in life, make sure you understand that you are sowing a seed.
No, thank you so much, Menala. I am just seeing how we are here speaking of diet, and somehow I was kind of myopic in my thinking of diet because mona o re file le dijo tsa boko.
Exactly. I get it's all about mental
yes.
health.
O re file not just the physical food that we put in our stomachs, but even the mental food, even the emotional food. Kore, spiritual food as well. How Kala you spoke of the S, M, B, and B, I guess.
Yes.
The S kia spirit. And in everything you've said, ihlile egaretwa from spirit etopotele in neteo se
the body
jwalo until we get to the body. Exactly. We can't start fixing the body before fixing our minds. Ma'am?
Facts. You see that last point that you made. This year I've learned God will always prioritize the S in you.
Yes.
Exactly.
Like every time you pray for healing, your relationship with him.
Yes.
And then once he has done that, all the benefits start trickling down to the rest of your faculties. So thank you so much.
You are welcome, sweetheart. So, what do you see, Naledi? Half full or half empty?
Wow, I was not there. I was seeing the seeds inside. I was looking at the chia seeds.
Okay, forget about the chia seeds.
Okay.
Is this half full or half empty?
I've learned to say half full.
Beautiful. We want people who are like you. Pearl, is this half full or half empty, Nana?
I'm just going to copy off of Naledi.
Obviously.
And say,
because
I see half
life
full.
is exactly like that.
Yeah.
If you have things and you keep on complaining, it means that you see half empty. If you see things and start appreciating them, you see half full. Hi, Lesotho, mbuso wa teng wa re feila. Hi, Lesotho, ha re na di grant. Lesotho ra sukula. When are you going to see the beautiful mountains? The water in Lesotho? The intelligent people around?
Yes.
The intellectuals around?
Yes.
When are you going to see that? Ki ikwala hona mo.
Sesotho se re sejasenyana se fete molong. There's nothing too small to appreciate. And Menala, just before we let you go, for coming through, tell us about where we can find you and a little bit about the Wellness Center.
Okay. You can find us. Yes. But back then we used to say Pioneer Mall and we would end there. But through the grace of God,
Amen.
He gave us another branch in Hlotse. We need to always understand that things come by grace, not because of Rebuhlali.
Yes.
Now, the third place now, it's Tseba Lifestyle Center. Di holong mane ha o fitla junction engwe ya Roma yung Tseba Bosiu. Just take the left hand, then slightly after 300 meters, you turn right. There's a lifestyle center there that we have opened. We're still developing it. Of course, it's not where we want it to be, but with the help of God, we understand the compounding effect that one step at a time, things are going to grow. So people come there balo masajwa, people come there balo pelwa dijo, people come there balo ithuta ka ntho tseo tsa mental ntho tseo ke di rutileng tsona ke tseo re di etsa monana and more obviously.
Yes.
They play mind games, they eat food, they learn fermentation processes and everything. So ho na le boroko sometimes, but we only take few people because also bina ntho tse ngata haholo. And then Pioneer Mall, we distribute healthy products. Healthy by Choice was established in 2011 by a founder Falang Khechane. He's just a guy he's a typical Musutu, grew up in the dust areas of Gauteng, but he told himself that he'll do it. And later it was changed to Healthy by. It started as Puritech. And then later it was Healthy by Choice. And then Healthy by Choice name was registered in 2013. Then he used to sell with a school bag at bus stop area, really, he would still be there and sell. And Hapola Ina, he would still be there and sell. He customers from him. He took this into and elevated it, of course, with other people around Buanga Health, and then went to the radio and then went to Pioneer Mall in 2016 and then spoke about this thing all over in the radio. I joined him in 2016. So I became Mrs. Healthy by Choice from 2016, and I'm very proud. And we're still working. We are helping Basotho to become healthy. We are helping Basotho to understand what is food, the concepts of food, which sometimes we fail to understand. We help them understand why are they eating. Because anyone, why are you eating? You won't know. No kitchen because but not knowing that there is a lot of things that are happening, the practical and science side of it. So he is the founder of Healthy by Choice. So for that one, I cannot take any credit. I just joined the business and I became a chef in the business of this same raw foods. So our numbers are 22329912, 22329912, and WhatsApp 62039912. We are available on Instagram, social platforms, YouTube, but it's not active. And then Facebook, Mental Health Support Group, and Healthy by Choice Lifestyle Center, because it's two pages now. Because we address tabatsa kelelo and we address tabatsa physical. I think that is all. All right.
Beautiful, Menala. In conclusion, ma'am, any final words?
I just want to say I am thankful for yet another therapy session. Yamahal.
Haley, what a blessing, guys. Like, I hear you. I have learned so much, and thank you so much, Menala, for coming through. How your lifestyle center, Healthy by Choice. But more than anything, in a way that points us back to God and what God intended for us. Just because we are waiting for the second coming of Christ, we don't wait in the parking lot.
Exactly.
We
start
wait
igniting.
as we are igniting, as we are moving. I like the fact that you are practicing them. You understand? You're walking the talk. I have been inspired. Up to this point. This has been Tseba Bibele Ministries podcast. From myself, Naledi, and
from me, Pearl and Kheta. Please like, comment, and subscribe.
Yes, please do the needful. Do the needful. Thank you so much, and God bless you.